Let's see now if his countryman Sebastien Tortelli of Team Honda can make it out of the second semifinal round into the main event. Our second semi is underway with Tortelli, Boss, Lawrence, Albertyn, Goodman, King, Bovoli, Blinkley, Button. He's on that four-stroke, and several others trying to make the main event. Grayson Goodman has the whole shot and the lead. But look at the mess behind him that he left. Pete Boss, number 33, a promising privateer on the Honda, along with number 817, Todd Downs of Corpus Christi, Texas. But number 65, here's an arena crosser who's had a lot of experience. He's a good friend of Jeremy McGrath, has worked out with him several times. In fact, Jeremy at times has stayed at his place near Dallas to work out before the Dallas Supercross. So he gets good starts, number 65. We'll just have to wait and see if number 7, Greg Albertyn, will let him hold on to that number 1 position, and number 65 follows.
Well, I was just about to say, Art, that I used to school Grayson Goodman at my place back in Virginia, but now I don't know if that's such a great comment. Anyway, you know, he was always afraid to jump things. He'd come up to him over and over and over and not jump him. Now he's not afraid to jump anything. Very brave out there, a lot of experience.
So Albertyn, the big question this season, of course, will it carry over that magnificent story of his performance in last year's Nationals after injuries and frustrations plaguing his 5 seasons in America? He predicted that this was going to be his year, 1999 in the Nationals, and he went out and won the title.
I had to give him a lot of confidence, but then he chose not to ride very many of the races during the off season, and it seems like it's taken him a little bit to get back into flow. He didn't look himself in practice, and seems to be getting it together here now, but he's also got a lot of company from Tortelli.
Here we've got 2 winners of opening rounds back-to-back. It's 97 and 98 in the order, Greg Albertyn and Sebastien Tortelli, and 2 former GP motocross champions. And there's Jimmy Button, number 12. Button cuts to the inside. Looked like he went down. Button went down as he approached number 21, Tortelli.
And as soon as you slide out of that groove, get into that loose stuff, what happens is all that loose dirt gets spit off into to the edge. You get in that stuff, and in some places it's pretty good traction. Others it just kind of shuffles around the top. I think Jimmy found one of those.
So Jimmy Button, instead of settling for 3rd, trying to challenge for 2nd, goes down and will have a big fight on his hands. He might have to go to the last chance qualifier. Greg Albertyn, number 7 on the Suzuki. He's signed up for 2 more years. In fact, Suzuki has a 3rd-year option on his new contract after winning that national title last year. Sebastien Tortelli doesn't look like he wants to settle, though, for 2nd place behind Albertyn. Let's take another look at Jimmy Button coming in on number 21. See number 12, the 4-stroke?
Actually, that was it was a great idea. He had the pass made. I think he got a little over anxious there, and the bike just touched the top of those last 2 whoops, and the tops of those are starting to get worn off. That's where it's slippery, and he found it.
Well, the opening night of EA Sports Supercross continues as we see this battle for 1st place when we return. Welcome back, and Tortelli and Albertyn are going back and forth for the lead here in the 2nd semifinal round. Jimmy Button did not stall the bike, and he is back up in 3rd, a little ways back. But look at this battle going on. Team Suzuki versus Team Honda. Team Honda, number 21, Tortelli, and look at Albertyn. He got the jump.
What a race. Tortelli was trying to go in there and predict where he had to place himself in order to make that block pass on Albertyn's stick. Albie guessed right and was able to clear the double and get him back.
2 laps to go.
That was a scary moment back there in the beginning of that sequence. Tortelli had made a pass. He landed off one of the jumps in neutral, almost went over the handlebars. Great save. That had to probably mess up his concentration a little bit.
Albertyn, Tortelli, Button, King, Lawrence in the top 5 positions with Grayson Goodman on the bubble in number 6. Remember, the top 5 only make it out of the semifinal rounds to go directly to the main event. The rest go to the last chance qualifier, and only 2 riders will get the last 2 gate positions out of that.
This is where all that seesaw battle started a lap ago. Tortelli was able to get through the section approaching the triple a little quicker, had the inside. These guys just went back and forth.
Jimmy Button is starting to pick up on Tortelli. And the two are right close to each other as they approach the lappers. And as the white flag is out, it's the final lap.
I think they did a pretty good job with designing this racetrack, because you can see these guys able to use a lot of different lines, different techniques and rhythms through these sections and still stay close.
Button went down again outside our camera angle. So Jimmy Button having trouble on this slick track. You usually think of the four strokes as having good adhesion, better adhesion than the two strokes on a slippery surface.
Now, the good news is he's able to keep the bike running both of those times, and he hasn't lost many positions. He'll still go to the main event, but it's got to be frustrating for him.
We're on the last lap. Look at Tortelli. He's got a great spirit about him.
You know what's smart is Albertyn moved over, took his line, and Tortelli wasn't able to do the triple, so that gave him a little bit of breathing room. He's going to need it heading into that last turn before the checkered flag.
Tortelli was leading in points in that great battle with Albertyn in the Nationals this last year when he suffered a horrendous crash in Unadilla. The checkered flag goes to Greg Albertyn. Tortelli, the close second. We'll have to check out and see who finished third. It is none other than Jimmy Button keeping that four-stroke alive. Bill Lawrence is in fourth, and I believe that Grayson Goodman might have captured fifth in front of Shane King. We'll have to wait for the official announcement. But there is our winner of the second semifinal, and on his way to the main event, Greg Albertyn. Well, that was a great battle.
He had to work hard for that. You don't want to use that much energy in a semi, but he's in the main, and he'll have a pretty decent gate position.
Before this sellout crowd of 40,000, 45,050, it's Albertyn, Tortelli, Button, and Lawrence and Goodman on their way to the main event. Let's go down to the winner's platform.
Wow, Greg, what a great battle between you and your fellow world champion, Sebastien Tortelli. It was like watching a chess match.
Well, Sebastien was going really well. I think he had some faster lines in me at the back section, but I've kind of figured out where he was going a little faster and tried to pick it up, and just held strong and put my Suzuki up front.
What about the main event? Where are you going to pick on that start? It seems like the whole shots are coming from everywhere.
Yeah, well, definitely inside. I had a great start in the qualifier, but got pushed wide and had a crash, so definitely inside. I feel like I'm starting great, getting my Suzuki right up there in front.